Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I'm your host, Mary. And here we teach busy minds how to live their most authentic life, how to gain confidence, and how to step into their power. Girl, if you've got a busy mind, then stay tuned because each week we're going to dive into topics like mindfulness, resilience, goal setting, self-empowerment, sharing tips and stories to help you navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. If you're ready to unlock your full potential and create a life you love, grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's embark on this journey of growth and transformation together. Welcome to Mindset with Mary. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited for today's topic. We're going to be talking about how to gain confidence, which is an extremely important topic in accomplishing our goals and manifesting the things that we want in life. But before I dig in, I just want to tell you thank you for showing up. It means the world to me to have you here to listen and really just probably take a second and give yourself a thank you, because most people don't show up and listen to personal development for themselves. They don't understand the power of it. So if you're here, give yourself a pat on the back. You're amazing. Personal development is a huge aspect in your ability to accomplish your goals, and you're here. And so hopefully today's episode can give you some sort of knowledge, skill, or some hint of something that you can take with you and grow on your journey. So today, again, we're talking about how to gain confidence. But the first thing I really want to explain to you is that confidence is somewhat a bit overrated. And the reason why I say this is because we often think that confident people are simply just born that way. But really the truth is that confidence is built through practice and experience. Everyone has to start somewhere. So if you're feeling unsure of yourself right now, know that it's completely normal, because confidence is something that we develop. It's not just something that we're magically endowed with when we're born. So give yourself a break if you're feeling not so confident in whatever it is that you're working towards. Because here's the real thing. Here's what we really want to do. It's not about gaining confidence in ourselves. It's about gaining trust in our ability to actually gain that confidence. Is that making sense? So when it comes to confidence, it really is just this practice, right? If we want to run a marathon, we don't just start out by running a marathon. We have to build that confidence. We have to gain the skills. We have to gain the muscle. We have to gain the endurance before we can get there. And that is going to take the ability of trusting yourself to work through all of that and learn it. And then at the end, you can gain that full confidence in yourself and ability to actually do the thing. So if you can just start off by trusting that you are capable, then you'll gain confidence through every step of the way, through the whole process. So hopefully you can really start to understand and grasp that concept, because really confidence can be a bit overrated. It is not just something we're naturally given. I'm going to repeat myself here. This is not something that is naturally given to us at birth. It comes with experience and practice. So the first thing that really can help you build confidence or build trust in yourself is to build your belief muscle. To, just like any other muscle in our body, your confidence has to be developed and strengthened over time. So a powerful exercise to get started is to really just make a list of all the reasons why you should believe in yourself, why you should trust yourself, that you're capable. Now, it might feel a little bit hard at first. I know that when I first started getting into personal development, or really just started trying to believe in myself, it took a while because I didn't believe in myself. So you might want to start really small, and it might just be something stupid like, I said I was going to go to the bank and deposit this check, and I did that. Like I said what I was going to do, and I did it. So really it's about gaining this ability in our beliefs and growing that belief muscle. And you can do that by seeing where you are being or where your integrity lies, right? So that, so often, you say you're going to do the laundry and you do the laundry. So start small and just really keep that growing, and keeping a list every single day of the things that you say you're going to do and that you actually follow through on, and just keep growing that and growing it, and starting to feel how much that expands and how much you really do show up for yourself. And you can actually trust yourself because you can see all these reasons why. I think sometimes in our society, our brains are so trained to look for the negative in everything, right? We think about jobs. So I'm just going to, mine in particular, I work in business operations for athletic department for a local university. And one of the jobs that I have is to, take care of the financial aspect of the department. And so I see all of these transactions, and I'm making sure that they're all budgeted to the right place. And I'm often looking for mistakes, and I am training my brain because of that to look for mistakes, because that helps me do my job correctly. And so this happens to so many people because we're, looking for mistakes in our jobs, in our lives, in so many aspects. And so we have to start to retrain our mind to start seeing the positives. And so this is where you start to do that. You start to see the positives and the things that you're capable of by making lists of that. And it's a practice, and it grows and it builds and expands. Piggybacking on the last topic, and moving into the second one, which is really to celebrate your small wins. Very similar, as you can see, but these are things that, help you reach your goals. So help you get to where you're going. So every step that you take, small or big, is going to help you get closer to your goals. So start making note of the things that you're doing. Maybe you meditated yesterday, and that helps you have a clear mind. And maybe the goal that you're working towards is peace and calmness in your life. And that is a huge step, even though it feels small. Celebrate it. Or, maybe you ate a healthy breakfast. Maybe you're working on being healthy and you had 2 crappy meals today, but you know what? You ate a healthy breakfast. Celebrate yourself for that, because when you celebrate yourself for that, it's that positive reward, right? Oh, hey, I did actually eat a healthy breakfast. Ding, mind goes crazy, and it starts to recognize, okay, if I do something that is, helping me get to my goal, I'm going to get rewarded by getting some sort of celebration from that. So celebrate yourself. A couple other things you can do, or write down, are things like taking a long breath, going on a walk. Maybe you were about to get in a fight with your spouse, but instead of doing that, you walked around outside for a minute. Maybe instead of yelling at one of your kids because they're being crazy wild, you decided to just take a few deep breaths and ignore it and let them just be crazy hyper wild, because, hey, they're kids. So just so many things that you can write down. Sometimes I just write simple things down as, hey, I accomplished one thing at work today, or hey, I had a podcast idea. And even though I didn't record it, I'm celebrating myself because I had an idea, and that's so awesome. I feel that so often in our lives, we're not giving ourselves credit for the little tiny things that we're doing. Maybe you didn't do a full 30-minute workout, but guess what? You did a 5-minute ab workout on YouTube. Celebrate yourself for that. Maybe you went on a walk instead of, taking a break inside. Celebrate yourself for that. It's so important that you do that, because while these seem so tiny, these everyday actions, they really are helping you snowball into your long-term goals and create bigger results. Once that motivation starts to build, it's so much easier to maintain it. So recognize it, celebrate it, and I promise you it's going to help boost your confidence, because you're going to feel like you're capable, and then you're going to start taking action, and that's when that confidence starts to grow. The next thing that I want to talk about that will help you gain trust in yourself and build your confidence is to become aware of who you're spending your time with and whether or not they support you. This is extremely important because if you spend time with people who uplift and encourage you, the energy and attitudes of those people can actually impact our own mindset. So surround yourself with family, friends, and mentors who believe in you and know that you're capable of achieving big things. Now, I want to kind of unpack this a little bit because easier said than done, right? We oftentimes have people in our lives who are not very supportive, whether it be consciously or unconsciously. And what I mean by unconsciously, I'm just going to give you an example in my life. When I was doing some Beachbody coaching a long time ago, I don't do that anymore. If you've listened to other podcasts, you know that was something that was somewhat unauthentic to me. But when I was doing it, it was what it seemed like very unsupportive of my husband. And that was absolutely not the truth. And the reason why is that he very unknowingly put off the energy of it being not something he supported because it inconvenienced our family time. I was spending a lot of time outside of work working, right? I had a full-time job and I was at home after work working, and that impacted our meals, that impacted our time together, that impacted me being able to fully be a mom, especially while during all of this time I was actually going to school to get my master's degree. So there was so much going on, and it so inconvenienced that for him because he wanted to spend time with me and I was doing other things. And so while it felt like he was so unsupported, or while it felt like he was so unsupportive, it really wasn't. He just didn't at the time know how to recognize that and set a boundary, because he needed to set a boundary. And so we kind of unpacked that and figured it out. And now we're just so much more open with each other altogether. And so we talk about those things now, and it makes more sense. He's more open about it. I'm more open about it. I ask him questions before I jump into anything. I usually ask him, hey, tonight I'd like to work on, my journal. And so I might not be fully present or anything like that. I kind of talk to him about beforehand so that he's aware of it. And then also I make time for him outside of all of these things, because if I don't, I'm going to recognize it as soon as, I start to feel unsupported, because he loves spending time with me, and I can't complain about that. Any husband that wants to spend time with their wife is fantastic and amazing. So I'm just going to keep on letting him, set those boundaries and make sure that I'm not spending all of my, time after my full-time job working on my side project. So, okay. Hopefully that kind of just gives you an idea of how important that is when it comes to being around people who support you. I do want to give you another example, and this is just, hopefully you don't have these kind of examples, but I know that we're all human and we all have people in our lives that sometimes just don't support us. Maybe this is a parent, maybe this is a friend, and maybe they won't understand if you do have that deeper conversation with them and explain what you have going on and ask them how it's making them feel. Maybe they're just not open-minded like that, and these are just not the kinds of people that we share our goals and aspirations with, because if they're going to make us feel like we're not capable, then why would we share that information with them? So just become aware of that. You really don't need to be sharing things with people who aren't going to support you. And sometimes we can look past it, especially if it's somebody we really don't care what their opinion is. But oftentimes these are people that we do care about what their opinion is. Our parents, maybe it's an aunt, an uncle, a sister-in-law, a brother-in-law. And we just don't share those things with them because it's not important to the relationship, and we can just keep working on our goals without sharing them with those people, because there are other people in our lives that do support us. So let's share it with those people. Hopefully that all is making sense, because girl, your dreams matter. Share them with people who are going to uplift you. Okay, moving forward. Another thing that will certainly help you gain confidence, build trust in yourself, is to visualize your success. Spending a few minutes every day just visualizing your goals as if they've already happened can train your brain to recognize that there are opportunities and so much to build on your confidence in so many ways. And, when it comes to visualization, if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know that I somewhat struggle with visualization. For some crazy reason, my mind just doesn't, I can't just close my mind. Sometimes, yes, if I'm in the right mindset, like I've had to have meditated for 20 minutes, then I can visualize like crazy. But if I'm not there yet, I like to use Pinterest. I like to open up Pinterest. I have a vision board that has all of the things that I'm working towards, some sort of picture of that. One day I want to take my family to Kauai. So I have pictures of us, like not pictures of us specifically, but I have pictures, of Kauai, and I can look at those, and then that helps set the tone. So then I can close my eyes and see my family and myself there in Kauai. It also helps because I've been to Kauai, so I can see the hotel that we were at, and the pool and the beach that was right there on, the hotel's front, and I can see that picture in my mind, and I can put my family there. So if you've seen it before, or if you've, haven't, go find a picture, and just it will help you visualize that. And then it just trains our brain to just think that we're capable of already doing that. So there's so much actual neuroscience and stuff behind all of the visualization processes. And if you haven't already, go dig into that, because it's kind of pretty freaking interesting. There's a little bit of science behind visualization. It's not just it's not just all magical, I promise. Okay, so the next thing I really want you to do is to practice self-compassion, because while you're working towards building confidence in yourself, life is full of challenges. And there's so many things that could set us back, and how we handle those things is going to matter. But one of the things we have to for sure do is just be kind. We make mistakes. We encounter things that are going to set us back. And we have to remember that failure is part of the learning process. And honestly, sometimes failure can be an opportunity to grow. So treat yourself with the same compassion that you would a friend. I want you to start thinking of your setbacks and mistakes from a different perspective, as if you were your best friend. So think of somebody who does support you and loves you and is kind to you. What would that person say to you had you had a setback in whatever it is you're working towards? I'm sure they're not going to be mean to you about it. I'm positive they're not, right? If I come into the bathroom one morning and I'm like, gosh damn it, I gained 5 pounds. What the heck? What is my husband going to say to me? Oh, you look freaking hot. So if my husband's going to do that, why would I say anything mean to myself? Like, gained 5 pounds. Gosh, just you look so crappy and horrible. Like, why would I do that to myself? My husband's not going to do it to me. Why not treat myself as if somebody who loves me would treat me? Girl, you look hot. Okay, 5 pounds is nothing. Like, okay, it's just data. That's all it is. It's just data. Okay, 5 pounds. Maybe I've been eating too much cake lately, which for a while I had been. I recognized, hey, I've been having headaches because there's been so many birthdays and there's been so many things going on, and I've eaten a lot of cake. and I wasn't feeling too good. And the data on the scale was telling me that maybe the headaches were caused by eating too much sugar. So I took that data and I gave myself some self-compassion and was like, girl, you still look fine. I still wore my shorts. I still wore my tank tops. And I just stopped eating as much cake. So just give yourself some compassion, because whatever it is that you're working on, it's okay. You can get right back at it. And it's a lesson, and it can help you determine what it is that you need to do to shift. So the next thing and the last thing that I want to talk about is building that resilience. This kind of piggybacks on this last topic, because we know there's going to be challenges and setbacks. Developing a mindset of resilience means that you're capable of learning to bounce back. So one, you got to have that self-compassion, and then you just got to freaking do the thing. You just got to. Like, you can't hem-haw around it. You just have to be like, you know what? Damn, that happened. And I'm going to get back on the horse, and I'm going to keep freaking riding. Because if I don't, I'm just going to either stay here or I'm going to fall backwards. So I'm just going to keep pushing forward because I want the thing, and I'm going to keep going for it, right? Whatever it is that you're working towards. One of the things that has been such a huge challenge in my life over the last year is mine and my husband's relationship. We were struggling so bad. We were fighting so much, and we couldn't figure it out. And we did everything we could. Every setback, every stressor, every family member that has passed away on us over the last 2 years. Goddamn, we've had so many people die in our lives. And every single time, it was hard. It was harder. My husband's dad just passed away. It was really, really hard. And we just kept going. We just kept figuring it out. And it was hard. And our relationship over the last 2 years has grown so much because of it. We just kept pushing through it. We just kept figuring it out. He showed up, I showed up, and we did the thing. And now we feel 10 times better, and we can keep working out our relationship, and it can keep growing. But had we given up, that would have sucked. So I want you to start practicing the mindset of resilience, and really, again, it's a practice. It is a practice. Recognize when you are like, you know what, F it, I'm giving up. And instead tell yourself, you know what, this is probably not very easy, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to take a deep breath, and even though it's not all right, I'm going to keep going. So hopefully that helps you. Remember, it's really not about avoiding failure, because it's going to happen. And it's really about learning from it and moving forward. So I love you all so very much. Building confidence takes time, effort, and you just have to remember that it's going to grow. And hopefully these strategies can start to help you see that progress, and you can start to move forward, and you can start to have that faith in yourself that you can accomplish the things. And then as you start to grow and expand, that confidence just builds naturally. So I love you all so very much. Please, please, please keep believing in yourself. You're amazing. You already showed up for yourself today. So on that list of things that you have done that can give you some belief in yourself, add that you did some personal development, you listened to something positive, and I love you all. Have a great day. Mwah.